Hello everyone, Donnie Wanders here, and today I have wandered to the Delaps Cove Wilderness Trail on the Bay of Fundy in Annapolis County, Nova Scotia. The trailhead is like right there. You might be able to see the green garbage bin at the parking lot, and this sign is just 50 meters in, and it has a ton of information. The area surrounding the Delaps Cove Wilderness Trail system was once a thriving black settlement with, at one time, close to 70 inhabitants. Census records show that this community was in existence since at least 1838, but as research has shown, it dates back much earlier. Mi'kmaq First Nations descendants were integrated with black pioneers for several generations after the American Revolutionary War, 1775 to 1783. They were also known as slave Indians. The society identifies as the Black Mi'kmaq of Delaps Cove, and they represent the voice of their ancestors, recognizing the unique culture, history, and community that once thrived in this region. In a document of place names of Nova Scotia, Delaps Cove is described. First settled about the year 1800 by Isaac Haley and John McCall. Haley likely Irish, McCall was a Scotsman. The place was named after Lawrence Delap, who did not reside there but built vessels at the place about the year 1850. The Indian name for this cove was Metabangyajga, meaning the Little Red Bank. Names popular at this time include Pomp, Skank, Francis, Sims, Esser, Brothers, and Morton. According to the 1871 census, only the last family did not include members of African descent. Dalhousie University has done archaeological digs in the area, and local elders indicated that a school once located in this region was near Bohaker Brook on the south side of the Old Shore Road West. Okay, there's a lot to take in on this sign that's posted right here, including one of the things that they said on the sign was that there are lots of stone foundations, and there's one right here in front of the sign. So this looks to be some kind of stone structure immediately as you enter the trail. I don't know what that stone structure is behind me, but it's a small square, so it could have been a house, maybe an outbuilding. I was not prepared for that onslaught of history as soon as I arrived at this trail. I thought it was going to just be like a nice little wilderness trail that maybe the county or the municipality had built. I didn't realize that this had been a black settlement, a historic black settlement. I had not realized that the black settlers and the Mi'kmaq had integrated as much as that sign indicates that they had. That term slave Indians is kind of like crazy. Like who were the black people? Were they, I guess they were probably British loyalists who maybe were escaping the American South. That's a lot to take in. There's a place here where you can sign the guest book. I just did that. And then I guess we get into the loop that is the Bohaker Trail. Here's a sign. It looks like I'm on that red dot right there, and it's a pretty short loop, only 2.4 kilometers. I think I will go, it's a tough call. Which way do I want to go first? I'm going to go this way first. I picked that at random. Hopefully it doesn't disappoint, but so far I'm like 300 meters into this trail, and I am thoroughly impressed already. Just coming out of the forested or off-forested part of this trail. The trail is a little bit wet, so I'm choosing my steps carefully. It's not very muddy, but it is wet. And look where I am, emerging onto the Bay of Fundy. And it's a very calm day today. Oh, it's gorgeous. There's a monument here to a lobster boat that went down here in the bay called the Chief William Saulis. This isn't part of the old history of this trail because this was a tragedy that just happened in 2020. And 6 lives were lost. And it was big news here in Nova Scotia. It was just awful. This is a really nice remembrance. Next to the monument, there's also this really nice case on a metal stand, and it's got a couple of books inside of it, notebooks and pens, and I expect that it's a place for people to share their remembrance and offer condolences to these 6 fishermen. Leaving the monument to the Captain William, or to the William Saulis fishing vessel, just behind me here. The trail continues along the coastline, and it's really beautiful. Right now it is low tide, and the rock formations are really lovely. The trail is just here to my left, but I've come off the trail to walk along these rocks because the trail is really wet right there, and it was very easy to just like hop over a little bit of grass and get onto these rocks. If you are traveling to Nova Scotia or probably anywhere in the world and you're walking on rocks like this, stay to the rocks that are not black. So if you look down behind me, you can see that there's some, these rocks down here, they have vegetation on them, but they're also, some of them don't have vegetation and they are black. If the rock is black, it means that it's slippery, and that there's a good chance that you will slip and fall, and depending on where you are, you will slip and fall into the ocean. And this shoreline behind me is not very accessible for someone to like haul you out, for example, from the shore. So it often means some kind of rescue by boat. And it's very, very dangerous to rescue someone in a boat when they're up against these like big jagged rocks. It's really easy if someone's in the ocean and a boat is coming up to them. It's very easy to get crushed between the boat and the rock. And also it's dangerous, like you will get hypothermia. It is very, very cold. It's something that we kind of live by here in Nova Scotia, is stay off the black rocks. There's a very famous lighthouse here in Nova Scotia called the Peggy's Cove Lighthouse, and Peggy's Cove is beautiful, and it's very popular with tourists and with locals because it is really gorgeous. It's not here on the Bay of Fundy, it's on the Atlantic shore, but we do get lots of tourists there, and there are signs posted everywhere, stay off the black rocks. And every year there are people will post on social media photos of people walking way out onto the black rocks. You often get a lot of people there during storm events too, because the shoreline is like it's very abrupt. Like, it's not a beach at all. It's not like smooth out into the water. It's kind of like this, actually. Like, I'll show you behind me this way. So you can see that there's there's big drop-offs there. And so there's usually big waves crashing against those like big walls of rocks. And it does attract a lot of people. And it's really beautiful and really impressive to see. But if you're on those black rocks and a wave comes that you are not expecting and washes over the rock, even a little bit of water now makes those slippery rocks even more slippery, and there is a good chance that you will get swept into the ocean. Many people have died from doing this at Peggy's Cove, and I'm sure other places. So if you are walking on a coastline like this, please stay off the black rocks. Even if you go on the black rocks and you are fine, you don't slip and fall, people will be taking your photograph as I slip and fall on just a rock on the trail. But people will be photographing you and making fun of you on social media. So that should be enough to just like not do it. Oh wow, the view from over here. Here's the brook above the waterfall. Wow, beautiful, beautiful brook. And here's what it looks like just above the fall, just before it plunges over. And it looks like this is called Meyer Point. It's been a pretty wet spring. You can see here, like, this is probably not flooded all the time, but it is a little bit flooded today. However, I can hop over onto this platform. Oh wow. That's incredible. It's definitely a better view from the other side of the trail. But boy, this is so cool to stand like on top of a waterfall. And kind of in the waterfall. Like, this platform that I'm standing on is in the waterfall. when you leave the waterfall and the waterfall platform, which is just behind me, if you do this trail in a counterclockwise way, you get to walk up what I think is Bohaker Brook, maybe, I'm not sure. And it's quite a lovely little water course. I'm almost done this loop trail, and I'm coming up to what I think is probably one of the structures from the settlement here in the 1800s, and it's this pile of rocks that the trail cuts through, like right here, but then that pile of rocks carries on that way. And I suspect that this is some kind of human-made stone wall. I'll turn around and give you a better view of it. Yeah, that's human-made for sure. I don't know what it would have been used for, if it was like, you know, like a animal fence, some kind of rock wall to keep farm animals in, or what else it might have been. I'm not an archaeologist, but really cool. Oh yeah, and the rock wall, it kind of goes underneath these trees here, like these fallen dead trees, but you can see a little bit more of it along here as well. It's quite long. It's carrying on alongside the trail. Yeah, more rock wall there. Gosh, I wonder how far it goes. I'm approaching the end of the loop, back to the guest book portion of the trail. That trail is about 2.5 or 2.6 kilometers, I think it said, and it far exceeded all my expectations. It has a little bit of local history, archaeology, gorgeous scenery, a waterfall, and it's super short. If I was like cruising along just doing this trail to get a little bit of exercise, it would probably take me about, I don't know, 25 minutes, I would say, maybe half an hour. It's really, really easy, and for the most part it's flat. Like once the loop starts, you go downhill a little bit, and then when you come back to the other side of the loop, you obviously have to come back up. Just the elevation change is probably only a few meters. Really, really limited hills. But man, this trail has everything. And it's super easy. So if you get a chance, if you are in Annapolis County, you should check out the Delaps Cove Wilderness Trail. So I'm almost back to the car. I'm going to wrap it up here. Thank you for watching. And this is Donnie Wanders reminding you to get outside and blow the stink off of ya.